Let's talk about 5 of the latest inventions that are changing the world. 1. DeepSeek R1, an advanced AI model from China, which is reshaping global competition in artificial intelligence. 2. Unitree humanoid robot, a nimble, affordable robot, which means automation is entering everyday life. 3. Life Studio Flex Plus projector, a sleek, portable projector, which is exciting for entertainment lovers. 4. MDCF2 therapeutic food, a microbiome-directed food to treat malnutrition, which is why it's a breakthrough in global health. And 5. Needle-free injection system, a pain-free device for medication delivery, which means better access and less fear. Which invention do you think will have the biggest impact? Which one surprised you the most? If you could improve one, what would you change? Can you think of a problem in your life that one of these could solve? Thanks for listening. Keep exploring, keep solving, and keep speaking with clarity. You're building the skills that shape the future.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're doing a really edifying analysis. We're diving into some sources on creativity.
Right, specifically a conversation between a product designer and a cognitive scientist.
Exactly. And the goal here is to find those motivating habits that take you from just, basic thinking to real creative action.
It's all about practical application.
Okay, let's unpack this.
So what's immediately clear from the sources is that a truly creative process, it's actually quite structured.
Structured? That sounds almost counterintuitive.
It does, but they say the first step is self-reflection. They talk about exercises from a course, the Learning Journey course.
And these aren't tests, right?
Not at all. There's no pass or fail. It's purely about forcing a moment of quiet analysis to prompt insight into your own habits.
Okay, but isn't there a risk of just getting stuck inside your own head, a kind of navel-gazing? Because the sources say both designers and scientists need this.
And that's the connection. That self-reflection is what helps you spot the gaps, the pain points. Then you need the next habit to turn that insight outward.
And that would be the most empowering habit they discuss.
Recontextualizing the familiar. That's when the thinking gets really dynamic.
This feels like the critical step, the one that moves things into, as they say, creative thinking in action.
It is.
It's about fundamentally changing how you see an object. You see a paperclip not just as a fastener, but you realize it can be a router reset tool.
Precisely. Or you take a simple pencil.
And suddenly it's a stake for a small plant, or a quick measurement tool, or, even a hair accessory.
Exactly. And that habit, that simple mental shift, is basically the DNA of innovation, if we scale that micro habit up.
Then you get to the macro level of invention. Here's where it gets really interesting. The sources move from simple repurposing to these massive world-changing inventions. They highlight 2 that reshaped modern life. First, the semiconductor.
Right, the invisible engine of everything. It's in basically all the technology you use.
And the second one is a little more surprising. It's the humble shipping container.
Yeah, that's a fantastic example of structured innovation.
Because it wasn't about inventing a new kind of box.
No, not at all. It was about standardizing the interface, the size, the locks, so that same container could move from a ship to a train to a truck.
Seamlessly. And that small change allowed goods to move so efficiently, so cheaply, it reshaped entire economies.
Completely.
So why do we invent then? What does this all mean?
Well, it's the direct result of that whole process.
Yeah.
You start with self-reflection, you practice recontextualizing.
And that gives you the clarity to see a problem everyone else is missing.
You got it. It lets you see the world not just for what it is, but for what it could be.
So the synthesis seems clear. Innovation isn't some random spark. It requires a structured process, from internal analysis to actively reimagining the world around you.
That's the takeaway.
Which leaves us with a final and, I think, inspiring thought for you. If you start applying this habit of looking past the obvious, what seemingly simple, ignored object on your desk right now could be the basis for your next ingenious solution. Think about that.
Oris, welcome to the debate. Today we're diving into a really crucial question about what makes an invention truly great. The disagreement we're exploring is this. Is an invention's greatness measured by its ability for societal reshaping and connectivity, making life more empowering and enriching, or is it about its direct role in, physical preservation and public health, making life fundamentally uplifting and edifying? I'll be arguing that the inventions transforming how we think and connect are supreme.
And I'll be making the case for those inventions that guarantee our very survival.
Right. So for me, the true measure of greatness lies in the tools that enable, new, previously unimagined possibilities. They restructure society itself. I mean, take the semiconductor, invented in the US back in 1947. This tiny component, it's the enabling force behind our entire digital world. It allows for this exponential growth in processing power, what we call Moore's law, and that becomes the absolute backbone for the computer and the internet. These systems are profoundly empowering. They create entirely new social and economic frameworks across the globe.
Okay, I see that. I see where you're coming from. But I come at this from a very different perspective. While I respect the scope of that digital transformation, the most critical inventions are the ones that solve existential threats. Vaccines, which completely reshaped public health and slashed infant mortality, and penicillin, which gave us the antibiotic era. These are profoundly uplifting. They guarantee the foundational security that humanity needed to even build a modern civilization in the first place. Without that defense against disease, all this potential for digital connection is, it's fragile.
That's an interesting point, but I might frame it a little differently. The infrastructure that the semiconductor and the internet provide, that allows for the rapid exchange of scientific knowledge. It makes future life-saving discoveries not just quicker, but you could argue inevitable. This whole platform is the ultimate source of motivating progress. I mean, it lets researchers on different continents collaborate on genomic data modeling in a way that was just impossible 20 years ago. We're solving problems at scale because of this infrastructure.
See, I fundamentally disagree on the order of operations there. You can't use complex global collaboration if your population is being decimated by preventable diseases. Protecting people is the prerequisite, not a byproduct of some sophisticated platform. The impact of vaccines isn't just a discovery, it's the establishment of population stability. A human life saved by penicillin is universally secured, whether that person has internet or not. We need that edifying impact of basic health before we can use the enriching impact of global networks.
But surely the greatest invention provides the mechanism for continuous improvement across all fields, including the one you're championing. I'm not convinced that one single medical breakthrough, however profound, offers the same transformative scope as the computer's ability to enable complex logistics, climate modeling, genetic sequencing. This capacity fundamentally changes our ability to improve, almost like the leap that the printing press gave us with literacy. It provides an inspiring and continuously evolving future.
You're arguing for potential capacity. I'm arguing for guaranteed existence. Medical breakthroughs offer a direct, measurable, and universal impact on quality of life that goes far beyond a logistics system. The direct saving of millions of lives through vaccines and antibiotics, that affects everyone. It guarantees they survive long enough to even engage with your digital platforms. That secures a basic human dignity. And to me, that is a higher order of greatness than accelerating information flow, however empowering that flow might be.
So the essence of my position is that the inventions that truly reshape society are these powerful, scalable tools for connection and knowledge. The platform itself, like the internet, ensures we minimize the need for that next singular massive medical intervention by making continuous preventive progress possible. That, to me, is the very definition of enriching human experience.
And I stand by the necessity of securing the foundation of human existence first. The impact of penicillin and vaccines is so uplifting because it guarantees the essential prerequisite for all other human endeavors. The source material itself forces us to look at inventions that solve major problems or enable new possibilities.
Indeed. And the value of this discussion is in understanding that powerful tension between those two roles, considering both the enriching capacity of global connectivity and the profoundly edifying necessity of securing basic life when we evaluate human ingenuity.